Next week, you have one of the most difficult exams in your life. You know that the score you get will change your life destination forever. Learning has never been your major strength, and you can help but feel anxious and unconfident to the extent that you have internally accepted the worst result. The fact of the matter is, most learning problems are not related to intelligence, they are mostly related to the wrong learning environment and/or the wrong learning strategy. In this video, we will help you become a master of creating the right plan and procedure to learn effortlessly. Learn within the first 3 hours after you wake up. Are you one of those people that consider yourself a night owl? Do you feel that your most productive time is always after the evening? What you are about to hear will shock you. Studies show that the optimal time for your brain to learn, concentrate, and be more creative is the first 3 hours upon waking up. Surprised? Now you know why algebra or calculus classes are always held in the early morning. Spaced learning sessions. Let's say that you need to schedule your learning sessions for a very difficult exam you have next week. You can only invest 5 hours to study for this particular subject. You could either schedule 1 hour per day for the following 5 days, or you can schedule a 5-hour session for a single day. Which option would you go for? Many studies have shown that learning in shorter daily sessions helps you retain information better than cramming all that same information in a single session, even if you studied for the same amount of time. In the long run, the information learned during the daily shorter session will stick for longer. Drink coffee. Well, it is not actually the action of drinking coffee what is going to help you learn better, but the substance contained in it is what will give you an extra boost. Yes, we're talking about caffeine. Regardless of the way that you prefer to consume it, it is the alertness generated what will help you understand and keep better the information. Several studies conducted show that people who consume caffeine 30 minutes before a learning session retain better the information than those who don't. Are you not a caffeine fan? No worries. There are also other ways to generate alertness. Try taking a cold shower. You don't necessarily have to jump to the freezing cold water right away. You can start with the usual warm temperature you're comfortable with and gradually start making it colder. Exercise is another alternative since your body releases adrenaline while working out, and this adrenaline creates the same alertness effect. Understand the logic behind what you are learning. It's complex to retain new information in your brain, so you need to give it a boost to help the process. Memorizing information without understanding is harder than understanding it first. If you have to learn the body organs for an anatomy exam, it will be easier for you to remember them if you know what the function of each of those organs is. When you understand why something is important, you're more likely to remember it and use it later. It saves you time and helps you stay motivated. Rest properly. The most important thing for any learning to take place is for the organ that will do the learning to be in optimum conditions. Your brain is the most important organ in your body. It controls most of its functions, and regardless of the fact that it represents only 2% of the total body weight, it consumes 20% of its energy. This is the most important point within the advice we'll give you today. Without resting, applying all the other points will be useless. By resting, we mean you need to sleep at least 7 hours, the minimum time recommended for a healthy adult, and making sure that you get high quality sleep time. This can be achieved by making sure the place where you sleep is dark, quiet, and has a cool temperature. You should also avoid large meals, caffeine, alcohol, and blue light emitted by device screens for at least 2 hours before bedtime. Take breaks. We humans are not robots. We cannot keep doing the same activity for hours and hours with the same focus. Our focus drops the longer we spend doing the same task, to the point that it eventually makes more sense to take a break if we don't want to waste our time being unproductive. Breaks are important, since they have proven to reset your focus and mood. If you feel you have reached the point in which your brain is no longer taking more information in, it is definitely time to take a break. A short break should last between 5 to 15 minutes. Going to the bathroom, scroll through social media, stand up to stretch, or taking a walk account for a short break. The idea is to do something entirely different from what you were doing at that time. You'll notice that when you get back to learning or working, your focus will have improved a lot. It is recommended to schedule short breaks every 50 to 90 minutes and long breaks every 2 to 4 hours. A long break should last from 20 minutes to an hour. This would be the equivalent of your lunch time. Exercise. Research shows that exercising can help the brain generate proteins that improve memory and cognition. This is so because the hippocampus, which is a part of our brain responsible for memory, is very sensitive to these proteins. Exercise also increases your body's production of endorphins, the brain substance responsible to make you feel good. Additionally, this chemical lowers your stress levels, improving your brain's performance. A link has also been discovered between having a good physical health and learning performance. This is due to the fact that exercise can enhance our energy levels, which is ideal when you need to study for long periods of time. It also increases creativity and mental energy, improves blood flow to the brain, and stimulates neurons that promote cell growth, especially in the hippocampus. Drink water. Water makes up about 75% of the total brain mass, higher than other parts of the body. Proper neuronal function depends on the presence of water, required for cell, tissue support, as well as nutrient and compound transport. Mild water loss of roughly 2% can lead to a decline in cognitive function, although differences in fitness levels and tolerance to dehydration may vary. Some dehydration effects are reduced focus, slower reflexes, problems with short-term memory, and negative changes in mood. Loss of body water can happen during normal daily activities, particularly in adults who drink only around 1 liter of water or 4 cups a day. Get rid of distractions. Respect every time set aside to get yourself to learn something. Whether you decide to study for 10 minutes or 2 hours, make sure you get the best out of it. Your focus can only be divided into so many things. Therefore, preparing the place where the learning will take place has to be taken seriously. First, verify everything you need is ready in your study space. Absolutely everything. Your notebook, your pen, your laptop's charger, whatever is it you need has to be ready and available by the time you start your learning session. Remove or get away from all screens that will not be part of the learning, including your cell phone. Put it in airplane mode or place it in a different room. If you are a person who gets distracted easily, consider that playing music in the background could distract you. What we recommend instead is to put headphones on that reproduce white noise. There are even some white noise sounds that can enhance focus waves in your brain. Look for them in YouTube or your preferred music app. Explain the concept to someone else. There is no better way of learning than teaching. To teach something, first, you need to have a deep understanding of it. And not just that, you need to view it from different angles to translate that knowledge to someone with a totally different perspective than yours. Another important point is that no one wants to be perceived as a fool. It is this fear of social shame that unconsciously drives you to master a subject. Believe us, in this scenario, you will not deceive yourself by jumping to the next topic if something is not yet clear enough. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.